Hello, all, welcome back. In this session, we are going to understand the importance of express.json middleware. Okay, this is a built-in middleware. This is available from Express.js 4.16.0. Okay, previously, we used the body parser. Of course, it's just built on top of a body parser. Okay, let's see the scenario and advantage and usage of this express.js. Okay, I've just created a simple server. I've just installed Express JS package, and of course, this is how we can create a simple server. So, so here I'm just creating a post method. Okay, the route, suppose the users, and of course, and I need ID. Suppose if you want to create a new user, at the time we will use it, right? Or even if you want to update it at the time, we need to send some data from client to the server. So here I'm just building a simple route, and this is route handler. So request and response. And here I need, because if you want to take some action, if you want to save the data in the database, you should read it first, right? So I'm just logging the request um, dot body, the data, that user's data I will pass in the form of body. And for to finish the request and response cycle, I'm just sending a simple sample message, simply like yes, that's it. If everything goes well, we will get the response like a yes. Okay, our this application is ready. So let's run an application and let's try to the install. Sorry, run an application. So our application is up and running, and now we can test whether our post route is working properly or not. So right now our application is running at the local host 3000. Okay, I have installed the Thunder client, and I'm just testing. Of course, this is the URL and users forward slash one. Okay, right now you can give any number. So we are passing one at one. So again, I'm just adding for a namesake user ID 101, email ID, or maybe you, if you want, you can change it like username, the Raghu, and the email ID is raghu.gmail.com. Whatever it is, you can just add a sample data. And if you see right now, have selected a JSON format only because this is the most preferred preferred format to transfer the data between the client and server. So I just pass the data. I'm just trying to pass the data in the JSON format through body. And now, okay, now I'm clicking on the send. I'm just sending a request to the server. So yeah, we got the response as yes, but let's see whether server has received this data properly or not. So let's check in the console.log. If you see, it is saying that undefined. So yes, we are sending data through body, even we are sending data in a JSON format. But Express.js server is not parsing this data actually. So for that, because it is receiving the data to the server. That's why we got an message yes. But here this request dot body, because whenever we send the data from a client to the server should understand, and server should read the data from a body, and it should attach that information into the request body object. So for that that parsing purpose, we need to use a built-in middleware that is called app.use, and here express.json. Okay, just invoke the built-in method here itself. So now let's test the same thing. Of course, I'm using a node man. That's why his application is up and running after our changes as well. So and let's send a request one more time. Same thing. I'm just sending a request to the server. Yes, again I got the message from the server that yes. And let's see now whether we are able to receive the data, whether server is able to parse the data properly or not. Yes, it is successful because here we are sending information in the form of JSON. At the same time, we inform the server, hey server, could you please parse the incoming request and just put that JSON information into this request object. Okay, this middleware is helping to parse the incoming request information which is there in the JSON format. So now you will get some questions. So suppose if we send the data in a different format. So this is a JSON format, right? Suppose I'm just copying the same information. Let's transfer the data in a text format, just a plain text. So what will happen? Whether we are going to read the data properly, or whether it will say undefined, or it will display some different value. So I'm sending the data, still you will get a yes response from the server, but but here this is an empty object. So here the server is expecting this express.json will accept only a JSON format from the client. So that is our responsibility to send the data in a JSON format. So but we have sent the data in a text format. That's why it is not able to parse the data properly. That's why it is just an empty object. Okay, previously if you don't use the middleware, it is directly say that undefined. But if we use the middleware and if we don't send the data in a proper format, okay, it is not going to parse the data properly, and it will just give a empty object. Okay, so even suppose if you're not familiar with this thunder client, I will show you the same thing with the postman itself. So if you see, postman is much more familiar for most of the developers, right? So if you see, okay, the same URL, 3000 users, I'm just giving random f44 something. And here whenever I give a JSON format, and if I send a request to the server, yeah, we got the response as yes. And we got the our big object in a proper way. Suppose if you send the data in a different format, suppose just select the XML format, let's see, send. Okay, so this is empty object. That means it is not working properly. And if you put a text format, of course already we have tested, right, this one. So empty object. So you should pass the data in a JSON format. So just select JSON JSON format and just send it again. So you got the server is going to parse the data properly. So this is just the foundation. This is just the foundation. But if you want to learn in detail, so just go to the official documentation and go to this express.json middleware. And see, so there are some optional parameters also there. Suppose if you want to limit the maximum request body size, so that we can just add some flags. So 1000 KB maximum, like that. And you can add some strict rules, some type, some verify. So even, okay, so just go through the documentation and you don't need to worry too much about these things. But you should not surprise that, okay, if someone, if whenever you're working on a project, if you find some another optional parameter in this middleware, you should not surprise. Okay, just go and understand those things. Okay, thank you. And the next, this is just a short video about the middlewares, and in the next video we are going to understand the express.url encoded. Okay, for this I'm just trying to prepare a simple scenario so that you are going to definitely enjoy that the concept. Thank you, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.